then I'll go 1 minute as well to wrap up.
I don't think we'll need them.
Okay. Sounds great. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Today is October 20th here at Circle Cinema, 2007, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Today we're privileged to have Mr. Howell Ballard,
Right.
who was in the Army, Staff Sergeant in the Army, from Kellyville, Oklahoma. And if you would, Mr. Ballard, tell us your story in your words.
You ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Well, growing up, I had no intention of being a military personnel. Unfortunately, world conditions were that a draft was instituted in 1940. In 41, they started drafting people. I was employed, a subsidiary of U.S. Steel Corporation in Southern Illinois at that time when I was drafted. I was being called in the third round. Everybody before me had been sent to Fort Benning, Georgia in the infantry. Had vacation coming, taking vacation. I was in Dallas on the 28th of August, waiting next train north to Chicago for induction. I got an opportunity to enlist to go to Hawaii and said, well, this is the thing for me. I'm not sure the date, but it was in October of 41 when we arrived in Hawaii. I was assigned to Fort Armstrong, and at Fort Armstrong I was assigned to heavy automotive maintenance. We had machine shop and other facilities for repairing of any and all types of vehicles, and also did some work for repairs of an aircraft gun and what have you. I was assigned to the machine shop. I was not a machinist, but they told me that they thought they could teach me something. I was on various equipments. What we did was that we repaired or resurfaced warped heads for motors, manifolds, clutch plates, brake drums, and the most important ones was regrinding of crankshafts. In regrinding crankshafts, it's not bad to set up for the mains, but that is quite a chore to set it up to grind the throws. I was assigned to that machine later and stayed on it for several months. A couple of years went by and we were classed as service troops. Now, service troops generally did not see any combat service unless they were attacked. Our job was to furnish the combat troops their equipment in working order when they needed it. During that course, I was promoted, and in 1943 attained the rank of staff sergeant. In that capacity, I was head of the machine shop. In the summer of 1944, we were received orders to proceed to Saipan. Arrived in Saipan in probably around Christmas time I'm not sure of the dates. In February, I received orders, stateside duty. Catch it, find your own transportation. That was hard. Taken a couple weeks, but finally hitched a ride with a Navy PB-4 plane going to Honolulu. Arrived in Hickam Field or Fort Cam. Was there a couple weeks. Finally got a ride on one of the Matson liners into San Francisco. Sunday morning, Easter Sunday morning, about an hour after sunrise, the coast of California come in view. A little later, it was off the rail, and one of the moments that I'll remember until I pass is all of a sudden I found a tug in my trouser bag. I looked down, a man with both legs off had pulled across, got out of his bunk, and had pulled himself across, and he looked up and he said, "Mac, let me see." A soldier next to me, and I gave him assistance, and he pulled up, and he said, "You could see the Golden Gate." Tears came in his eyes, and he said, "I never thought I'd see it again." From there, I got 30-day leave. After the leave, it was at Arlington Hotel in Hot Springs, Arkansas for R&R. At that time, Germany capitulated. I was sent to Aberdeen Proving Grounds in Maryland after that. There for a week, 10 days, received orders to proceed to Fort Hood, Texas. On departure from Aberdeen, I paid my own way and had to leave to stop off to visit a sister in Indiana. On arriving at Fort Hood, I went to the finance office next day to get reimbursement. At that time, they was discharging personnel with points. My orders read for duty and not discharge. A clerk in the finance office asked me if I didn't want out. Said, "You have the points." And yes, I would like to, but the order says otherwise. A whack captain heard us, and she said, "Wait a minute, soldier. Let me see your orders." I handed them to her. She looked at them and she said, "Don't you want out?" Yeah. The clerk said, "But we have our quota." She was a little rough, I guess, because she said, "Hell, anybody can make a mistake accounting, put him on there for discharge." Next day I was at Fort Sam Houston and got my ruptured duct. Free man again. I know this has been short. I was not a combat troop. Service troops serviced the combat troops. Combat troops protected us. I know this is short. Very, very proud of my service because I felt that I did something that was helped our country. So that's about all I have to say.
That was great. Thank you very much.
Can I make a comment? What about when you were at Pearl Harbor? Didn't you see the planes and stuff?
Well, I left a little of that out because the day of the attack was that morning we were on the parade ground playing touch football. And I'm sorry if I missed that for you, but the memory today is not what it was them years. And yes, we seen the smoke and was watching, and all of a sudden the Jap plane was over us, and we knew then what was happening. And yes, I spent some times on the piers stevedoring and spent time cleaning equipment and stuff. But then within 10 days or 2 weeks, we were pretty well getting back in our routine of regular work. But and I've seen some fatality people, men, arm blown off and what have you. But I tried not to think about them things. So I just have nothing else to say.
That's great. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. And I hope it was under the 20 minutes. I think.
Yeah, you were.